Adam, first of all, let's look at the Daily Mail and a very original idea here. This is our keeper.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I don't know where they came up with it.
I don't know either. So, yeah, this is the story from the Daily Mail. Rwanda's back, but it's Germany planning to use it, and they want to put migrants in facilities Britain paid for. So, yeah, this is basically a story about Labour facing embarrassment last night after Germany proposed sending illegal immigrants to facilities in Rwanda paid for by the British taxpayers. So this is a beautifully ironic story, I think. Obviously, as we all know, the great scheme for Rwanda, people criticising it, people, nothing really happening, and now Germany sort of coming in. You've got the German Migration Commissioner going, this is what a wonder. We've got all the infrastructure.
Yeah, that we all paid for. 700 million, Nick. We ain't getting that money back.
I know. Isn't it just like the sunbeds? The Germans just like over there nicking it. You know what I mean?
It's their towel.
Yeah, we've got all the facilities out there. They're like, we will have this now. That's how they talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the same because we've already been out there doing it. It's annoying, isn't it? Yeah, 700 million for nothing, and they've just nabbed the idea. We should start sending people to Germany, is my idea. Think about it. They send everyone to Rwanda. We send them to Germany.
The cycle of life.
Circle of life. Elton John.
Is there going to be an issue, though, Adam? Because, of course, part of the reason why it never really didn't take off here was the courts, the Equality Human Rights Commission. Won't Germany have exactly the same problems then?
No. So this is there was a story saying that they're actually going to work with rather than against some of the legislations that we had previously. So we're going to they're basically going to not sort of like do what we did. So in terms of pushing against the grain, they're not going to be doing that.
The great thing about Germany is that they're more relaxed about human rights quite often. Just look, as it says in the Times, actually, the central contradiction is claiming that Rwanda's a deterrent, using it as a deterrent, but also claiming it's safe.
Yes.
That's the great fun about this, isn't it?
It was interesting that because this has obviously been in the news for years, but to see it so succinctly, finally, that's what you're right. I did it exactly the same thing. I highlighted it like this is expressed in exactly the clear way. How on earth is it going to be a deterrent, whilst also it's a great place to go to?
I like the idea that Rwanda actually said, they're not going to give us any of our money back for the 700 million that we've paid, so no take-backsies.
Fair dues.
Yeah, fair dues.
I mean,
James
cleverly actually says he wants to bring back the Rwanda plan, so I mean, hopefully the Tories win, get in, cleverly wins, reinstates it before Germany do any of this. Luckily, Germans aren't known for their efficiency, so it'll be fine.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Nick, what are the Daily Telegraph going with then?
Well, they've got prisoners could serve their time in Estonia, so this is kind of a fun game with everyone sending people to different countries. So we could send people to Estonia. This could be so great, Josh. You could do a bad tweet on Monday and be in Estonia by Wednesday. Because there was that funny story that Starmer was going to detain people in the Falklands, and I was like, this isn't true. I better not tweet this. I saw it, and it took me 3 seconds to Google. 3 seconds Elon Musk didn't have because he retweeted it. But then if you were going to send people to Estonia, it's not that different, is it?
The thing is, Estonia is a great country.
Great country, great people. And the thing is, they have very low crime. I mean, can't think why. Probably not their immigration policy, but they got their prisons empty because they're such a safe country. So we're like, I know, let's ruin that country with our worst people and send them
I guess it would be consensual, hopefully, but yeah.
But, Adam, the ironic thing here is, of course, that it is cheaper to house, even if they put a premium on the prisoners, it costs less to house a prisoner in Estonia than it would to house them here. And especially if you factor in the price, it's £600,000 per prisoner to build a new prison.
Yes.
So, I mean, are we going to outsource everything?
I mean, the thing is, I think that's pretty much the ethos for the UK. I think we don't like doing anything in-house. We like to get everything else cheapened from abroad, and that's the reason why a lot of our essential services, like our oil and gas, electricity, waterworks, everything's, ruined. So I think that's a great British tradition, is to get other people to do the dirty work.
Get other people to do it. We'll see what happens. I mean, no, it doesn't mention it in this article, Nick, but surely there would be issues with prisoners claiming that their human rights are not, they wouldn't be able to get visitors and whatnot. So is it realistic?
Human rights, they're the problem with everything, Josh. We need to scrap these women human rights. Get out of the ECHR, get rid of all that stuff. Although, if it's people who've just tweeted that Starmer hates, obviously I want their human rights. Yeah. But if it's actual prisoners...
People you like and agree with.
Yes.
You're right.
Same as Starmer, same as his tactic. People he likes, they're great. Neil, people he hates, they're thugs.
Murderous.
I've got a similar system.
Just describe modern politics.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on to The Guardian, Adam.
Yes, so this is the Guardian. This is the unfortunate news. It says no justice for the Grenfell tragedy until next decade. So this is basically the justice for the 72 deaths in the Grenfell Tower may not come before the end of this decade. And this is due to the public inquiry findings. They're saying this is because of systemic dishonesty. And it was actually Lord MacDonald who's warning that this could take a dozen years. At least a dozen years after the disaster before anyone is punished, based on the Metropolitan Police's Road report. So very tragic, and obviously there's also a conversation in the news that we've still got thousands of housing establishments covered in this cladding. I've been personally one of these people.
All covered in cladding right now.
Covered in cladding right now, but where I live, my building apartment block is actually covered in the same cladding, and they've only recently just finished taking the cladding off. So I've personally been affected by this.
Did you have to pay for it, or was it part of the government?
It was partly subsidised, but also my service charge did go up, and we did have for quite a big period during COVID. We had to have round-the-clock fire marshal, so our service charge went through the roof. So I did feel it financially.
Yeah. So what do you think about this, Nick? I mean, their argument is that the police need to have the necessary time, 12 to 18 months, with the findings of the inquiry before they can then proceed to charges, right? So isn't it better that they get it right than do it quick, or is it that they should put more resources into it to allow people, if they who have been found guilty, to serve time?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have the answer to that. I mean, it's amazing how long it's been already, isn't it?
7 years.
But obviously you want to get it right. I'm just stunned by it still, because there was a fire in my block the other night. The next block for me was coming back after football. And now they send out 8 fire engines. Apparently that's standard for these big blocks. We've got sprinklers in there. They're like totally self-contained. And it makes you think, wow, I mean, it's so good now, the response. How poor the Grenfell was, it's kind of unbelievable to think about.
Yeah.
Apparently the smoke will often kill you first of all, the fire.
Yeah. There's a lot of...
man was nice enough to tell me, so I put my battery back in my smoke alarm, which I'd taken out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
Look at you both making it about you.
Well, I just mean it's shocking that Grenfell happened when you see how what
the advances
standards
that
should
they've
be.
taken. Yeah, of course, absolutely. A few more before we get on to I just want to quickly talk here about Macron defies the left by making Barnier PM. So France has had this thing, they've had their elections and they've arguably not gone through the democratic process because it's taken them this long to actually finally get a PM, and it's not who the left, they were the ones who were voted in, so obviously they're complaining about it, Nick.
Yeah, I didn't know we were doing this, but yeah, that is a shocking story. We see similar things in Germany. We've seen in France the attempt to keep out National Rally. There's clearly a move to the right across Europe, and there's clearly a move from the establishment to block it in any way they
But this is
can.
blocking the left, though, interesting.
Oh, yeah, this is blocking the left. But they initially blocked the right, didn't they, with the 200 resignations. Yes. Now they had the lefty nutters, well, not him either. Yeah. So in its return, it's blocking both to get back to the liberal managerial
And
class,
finally, Nick, very quickly, what's Daily Star going with?
Well, very important story. Mad Vlad had spy whale whacked in the gangster sense. This is vengeful Mad Vlad Putin is behind the shooting of a friendly beluga spy whale called Vladimir, but with an H, weirdly, that defected to Norway, claims a retired United States admiral. Hard to add anything to that. But he was killed, and Putin's denied it, but it was done with a poisoning in Salisbury, so some people think it was Putin.
Right, yeah. I mean, Adam, is there no evil this man won't do? Now,
no, absolutely not.
And, I mean, the thing is that probably Greta would actually, she's probably on his side.
Yeah, I think Greta likes dolphins, but yeah.
But in this case, no.
Maybe not. Yeah,
see, we don't know where her politics lie at the moment. I don't know why I brought her up, to be honest.
Single-use plastic.
she's not really all about the whales, is she?
Yeah.
I was as free associated.
Well, this is a dolphin, but yeah, I agree.
That's a whale. A beluga whale's a whale.
Adam,
yeah,
if you want
100%.
to come on the show, could you please be professional and get your mammal...
I don't know a lot,
It's dead
but
now.
whales, in my view, are whales. That's one of my strong stances. Yeah. But it does. Beluga whales do look like dolphins. And if you just glance at the picture and, for example, didn't read the story...
We have got those controversial opinions here going on.
Yeah.
Right, that is the front pages of Praise.